Hi, I'm Rosemary Goodenough. I'm an artist and fashion designer, and this is my husband, Michael Waller-Bridge. It was most extraordinary how I got started as a fashion designer, because obviously I've been an artist for many years, and I was having an exhibition of my paintings and sculptures, and I overheard somebody who was looking at my painting, Springing Tulips, say if that painting was a scarf, I would wear it. And it was
sort of light bulb moment.
Complete light bulb moment. And we were, but you heard it as well. And we were both there. And it was how extraordinary. You know, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't you think of that? We should have sort of really been more imaginative about the applications of an oil painting.
And you were thinking about other fabrics at the time.
Yes, yeah. And what can you do with your work given modern technology? And so Michael, thankfully, is a photographer. And so he takes photographs of my original oil paintings. I then digitally change the colours, remaining true to the composition of the original oil painting. And then Michael does the technical magic that makes them into files that can then be sent to Lake Como for printing. And when they're in Como, the silk comes from China, and they do all the printing there, and then the hems are hand rolled. So that the whole process is within one space. It's always interesting thinking about the brand ethos, because we both feel very strongly, as complete obsessives, that the quality and detail has got to be right, because the enormous compliment that you receive when somebody that you've never met, you know nothing about them, and they give you the compliment of buying a piece of your work, whether it's a painting, a scarf, a sculpture, in your case a photograph, and it has got to be perfect because they've made a decision. And so I want absolute confidence that I've done my complete best to produce a beautiful thing. I designed my own logo, my own packaging, because I wanted that to be a lovely experience, and just this whole feeling of this is a treat, this is special, and I want somebody to feel that when they've bought a piece of my work.
We took a weekend testing the sound of acid-free tissue paper samples, which we had all over the room, because we wanted to find exactly the right crunch that made the luxurious noise of a present.
Right. Behind my current collection, obviously it is always one of my oil paintings. The most recent thing to have launched is our new range of velvet shawls, which we're absolutely thrilled with, and that particular range is based on my painting Floating Tulips, which actually I painted on sterling board. You see it on building sites. It's that sort of rough stuff with the sort of crackles in it, and it's fantastic to paint on because I don't use brushes, I just use cloths and knives in my hands. So the background the paint goes densely into the cracks and lightly over the surface. And so when I digitally change the colours, particularly in the purple actually, on the printed velvet, there is this extraordinary background which is absolutely directly from the painting.
Yeah.
So it's always from my paintings. And but not every painting works as a scarf. I'm not a scarf designer, I'm an artist. And I don't want to be a scarf designer because it would then feel very different. My work is not symmetrical. Most scarves have a border and it's a repeated pattern, and they're very beautiful, but it's not what I do. Because it's from one of my paintings, they fold asymmetrically. Every corner is different rather than a repeated pattern. So
every time you fold it, you get a different...
Every time you fold it, it's different. Yeah.
Always.
So it's an interesting process. It was interesting thinking about other art forms and how...
Especially music,
yeah, how they affect my work. And an example of this would be the two paintings actually that we have downstairs in a particular collection of my work. One is called Girl Dreaming and the other is called Painting in a Trance. And I painted the Girl Dreaming painting to the Mozart Requiem, the Lacrimosa, which is a very intense, passionate, and all-absorbing, actually, piece of music. And it hugely affected that painting. And then I thought it would be very interesting to discover how my work was affected by an entirely different music form. And I love trance music, I think it's fantastic. And so I found Flying Rhino's Slipstream and used exactly the same colour palette and ended up with this very energetic, very vertical image, and it is all about the music. So that the influence of that was massive. But I'm now increasingly interested in silence, a la John Cage, of which there is no such thing. I like silence, I relish it. But if you listen to silence, you're hearing noises.
You're finding degrees of silence.
There are degrees of silence, yes. And that can be very unsettling when you're painting, because you're having this quiet moment and a car goes by, or a seagull flies overhead, and it affects my work. We've been terribly lucky because the brand launched in July 2012, and so we've had to work jolly hard at finding people who actually want to stock the brand, because we didn't know, we're not from the fashion industry. And so we've done Scoop and London Fashion Week, and it's been terribly interesting, and the people who stock our brands are Fortnum & Mason, exciting. Our very first stockist was Pollyanna, the legendary Rita Britton, so that was an absolutely amazing excitement.
Wolf and Badger.
Wolf and Badger in Dover Street. The Dresser in Chipping Campden, absolutely fantastic. It's an amazing destination shop, no website, but the most incredible eye. The buyers are completely brilliant. Botica has been fantastic, botica.com. And Lilu Fleur in Harrogate. So, we're working jolly hard at getting more stockists, but we want people who want to have the brand. We're not going to push it on somebody who then is a bit reluctant and regrets it. We want everyone to get as much joy from it as we do. We were being asked about the highlight of my career, and I talked to Michael about it, and we decided that it hasn't arrived yet.
We're looking forward to it.
Yes, it's yet to come. There have been some huge excitements. I've had an extraordinarily interesting life. I've been very lucky, and exhibiting in the Biennale in Florence was tremendously exciting. I mean, that really was thrilling. Being found by Fortnum's, we hoped they'd notice us after sort of 5 years, and maybe after 10 years we'd be stocked in Fortnum's. But the brand was only 18 months old, and they are such nice people, and it's of course the iconic London department store. We're absolutely thrilled by that. But the highlight is yet to come. There'll be others.
Better and better.